Now, how do you earn passive income in real estate? In this video, you're in luck. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, disclaimer up front, I am not a tax attorney, specialist, CPA. Okay, this is all informational and it's not designed to go file your taxes. Okay, only in America I have to say that, obviously. Seek a professional. I'm trying to give you a scope on this. One of the things I'm going to show you how to do, if you like what we're talking about with passive income, I'm going to show you how to get a piece of property, but passive income. Stick around to the very end. I'll show you how to make that happen in the next 60 to 90 days. You heard that right, so stick around. First of all, let's talk about what is passive income. What's this word? It's strictly an IRS word. So the IRS classifies earned income, passive income, all these different types of income, and they have classifications on how that is going to be taxed. Passive income is pretty cool because it's taxed at a fairly low rate. I think it's like anywhere from 0 to 20%, depending on your total income on it. But here's the beautiful thing. Let's say I get a piece of property. We'll get to that in just a minute. And I need to fix it up. Everything I spend on that property becomes a tax deductible item on that piece of property. I can depreciate the property over 27 and a half years. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let's say I have a $250,000 property. I'm just kind of winging this, I think. So if I took a $250,000 property, I would divide that over 27 and a half years, and that's about $10,000 in deduction. So it's really wild because the IRS pretends like the value of the property is going down even though it's going up. It's just a little loophole to get people to, now I don't even call it a loophole. I hate that word in IRS. It's a strategy to get more people involved in real estate and creating businesses. And so you have some kind of retirement, really. Okay, so that's what you're looking at with passive income. Okay, so what it says is I'm not actively in the business on a day-to-day basis. So once I get the property set up, once I have a renter in there, not a lot I can do it. Once I have an Airbnb person in there, all of those things are considered passive income. Okay, so the key on this, though, is how do I get a passive income property on that? There's several different ways. I want to give you kind of high level and then go down to the nitty gritty. My favorite way is to use a new program for you small and beginning investors out there. It's for first-time buyers. It's a brand new program, about a year and a half old from the FHA, okay, at the time of this recording. And it says if you buy a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, and as long as you occupy one of those units for at least 1 year, owner occupied in that, they have an FHA program where you only have to put 3.5% down. Now, I want you to think about that. So think about buying a $500,000, I don't know, duplex that's just rough. That's the ones I want. I want the rough ones because I can move into one of those units. I can fix that property up. What does that do to the value? Right? Once that's fixed up, I put a tenant in there that charges more rent, fix it up, more rent, fix it up, more rent, fix it. You can only do as much as 4 units. 5, it gets into multifamily. We won't talk about that. This program is for 4, 3, or 2 units. Now I've brought up the value of those properties. I've got renters in there, so I got built-in equity. All of the income from those properties is considered passive income. Ding, 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 ding. This is literally like the best fundamental, foundational investment strategy for a beginning investor into the real estate world that's possible. And don't be intimidated by the fact that it's got 2 units on it. I might have to go to Home Depot and fix it up. So you're on YouTube, get on there and how do I put crown molding up? How do I replace a dishwasher? What's the best way to, get refrigerators, scratch and dent? All of these things out there. I've got other videos on that talks about rehabs and what have you. It is a great way to go out there and make that happen, okay? So that's one thing. And then the second favorite way to make it happen to get some passive income is, find that rental property, that's going to cash flow. You can go the conventional way of buying one that's already turnkey and go to Airbnb and or rather conventional rental, right location. My favorite way, you guys all know that I like to buy those piece of crap properties in those areas, distressed property, make a deal with the owner, not a lot of capital out of my pocket, if any, okay? And then fix that property up, bring the value up, wash out that owner over there. Now I've got passive income and equity at the same time. So what am I talking about there? Well, I'm driving around, Yeah, you can go to real estate. Where's my investment properties? Here's this person that's fixed up this property. You're paying for them to fix up that property, like probably two to $1. So every dollar they put into it, you got to pay them too. So you're paying for their sweat equity. Why not create your own? Okay, there's no way you can go to a job and create that kind of equity in the same time period it's going to take you to fix up that property. A few months. So I go find this piece of garbage property. I work out some kind of deal with the owner of the property, maybe the kids of the owners that have deceased. That's happening a lot. And I say, hey, I want to get this property. I want to look at this property and make sure that it's the right one for me. If you're willing to cut this deal here, I'll fix up the property, get an investor. Private investors will come in there and give you 70% LTV of ARV. A lot of terms on there. You got to talk to the VP on the KP. So loan to value of after rehab value. So you buy this property down here, it's going to be worth here. They're lending you based on this. So they'll do like 70% of value, and you can wash that person out once the property's fixed up. Best way to make that happen. Okay. The other way to do this is to buy a property. My favorite way is at a tax deed sale. Okay, so what's a tax deed sale? This is a property owner that has failed to pay their property taxes for a minimum of 4 years or more. Okay, so what the county says is, dude, we need our money. We've got things like schools, 55 to 60% goes towards schools. Then you've got law enforcement, fire department, parks and recs, roads, bridges, infrastructure in the county. They need this money. Okay, and people say, oh man, that's mean to the property owner taking property. Look, everybody pays property taxes. If you didn't, and you didn't have these penalties, no one would pay them. And enough's enough. You name another debt where you can carry for 5 years and nothing happens. So what the county says is this: look, we're going to send out alerts to everybody, the banks and everybody. This property is being sold for back taxes. If you don't show up by 10 o'clock next Thursday, forever hold your peace. You can go to that sale after doing research. I'll get to that in a bit. Make sure it's the right type of property that you want. You put your hand up. They say sold. You give them the cash. Now you're getting properties for literally pennies on the dollar. Okay? So I've seen properties sell for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 that are worth $150,000, $250,000, and $350,000. Okay? And you own them free and clear. Now, you're going to go in there. You're going to have to do some title work to clear up all that stuff that was wiped out. It takes about 3 to 4 months. During that 3 to 4 months, what are you doing? That's right, Home Depot, fixing that property up, making it look like it should look so that you could rent it out. You could wholesale it. But if you're going to want the passive income, best way to do that is to rent it out. So now you're creating the equity and the value of the property, instantaneous. Okay, look really good on paper. You fix it up. Maybe you paid off that investor over there that put some money in there. Now you've got $2,000 or $3,000 a month coming in rental income, or what they call passive income. Depending on your income bracket, that could be taxed at 5, 10, maybe 20%. Again, talk to a tax consultant on that. All of your deductions. Now all of a sudden you're running a business. I can write off all sorts of different things to make that happen. It is a beautiful way to do it. I absolutely love it. Oh, and also, I don't know if I mentioned this, all your maintenance on that property as it's going through there, what you're trying to do is, tap down as much of that revenue as possible so you pay as little as taxes on it. Oh, and you get to depreciate the property over 27 and a half years. Even though it's going up in value, the IRS pretends like it's going down in value. I mean, there's so many beautiful ways to do this. Now, the best way to make this happen is to learn how to do it. And you're in luck. I've got a brand new free course on this. This is my best work ever. I've got a complete course from A to Z, how to get a hold of your first property within the next 60 to 90 days. Boom, right off the bat. All you got to do is click the link down below. And if you would like, in that link, you can also ask for another double secret bonus, which is a pathway to success. It's called America's Best Kept Secret. I will send that booklet out to you gratis, free of charge. Okay? So make it happen. Get some passive income. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck, and we'll see you out there.